on here and learn about their business. So I'm going. My time is valuable. All right, guys. So Coach Basics is going to be all about how to get going. Hi, Leah. I like how you lightened your hair. I don't know if she can hear me. Can you hear me? See, I can't hear Leah.
Yeah, I can't either.
Rot. Leah has really bad internet. I think she lives in a cave. All right. Anyway, I'm getting going and we will record this if need be. I'm not going to mute you guys because I want you to be able to ask a question if you want to. And there's not that many of us on here that I think it's going to be a big disruption. So we're recording. Okay. So I just wanted to sort of talk about what Coach Basics is all about, what you can expect for these next few weeks. And really, like, if you take advantage of this, your business will grow and you will know what you're doing. And these times on, you know, a Zoom with all of us, like, you'll get to know each other. You'll get to know me. It's a great time to like ask questions. And I just remember that when I was first getting going as a coach, I was on these all the time with like Chris and a bunch of other people. And we all became like really close friends, and then like would message each other and ask each other for advice and helping, you know, with questions and whatnot. And so it was really great that way. But also it just helps you kind of feel connected while you're doing all of this. So that's what they're here for. So what we're going to go over is things like how to handle objections, like, you know, how to build value, how to invite, how to post, how to, you know, send out videos to people so they can check those out. How to kind of do all of those things that, you know, you need to know as a coach. How to handle objections, how to invite, how to share, not sell, how to enroll people in challenge groups, how to run a challenge group, how to give info but not too much info, you know, all of that sort of thing. And really our whole basis is going to be on the 3 vital behaviors, but making success clubs. Because that is our end goal as coaches. When we help 3 people a month, we build our business and we're helping people, and that's what we all want to do. And that's how you grow your business and start making money, which is part of the reason we're coaching, right? So without further ado, before I get started on anything, do we have any questions?
I actually do have something that I was just talking with my cup group about.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if anyone has ever, with Beachbody, has ever done like a farmer's market booth or anything like that in that sort of venue, or if that's kind of frowned upon by the company, or
not frowned upon at all. You can do those sorts of things if you want to. I know a lot of people will go to like an expo, like a, you know, a health expo and things like that. I don't know how. I think you would probably have to look in the FAQs to just make sure that you're compliant with anything that you need to do while you do those. But I know you definitely can. And I think that they're probably a better way to just get like people's info and stuff rather than to like sell anything. But you could certainly like run a competition or like a, you know, a raffle or something to give away Shakeology and that sort of thing. I don't do them because I just find that building my business this way works really well. And I signed up for Beachbody saying like I would never have like a party. I would never do like a shake and share. I would never do like any of those like, hey, you want to host a party things for me? And I know that that's like a very old school way of marketing. Something that I do like that's a little different is you can run something called fit clubs. So you don't have to be certified as a trainer or anything like that. You can get certified as a trainer, by the way, guys, in certain things in this business. So that's something else that we could talk about. But you literally can just like use a gym space or go in the park in the summer or whatever, and you can invite a bunch of people to come and do the workout with you. And now that you have like streaming, you know, you can stream it right on your phone and you can lead the group, or you can go somewhere where they have a screen or a TV and you can do it. So there's people who do that all the time. They run fit clubs, get people who really love the workouts, and then, you know, get them signed up as coaches.
That's so cool.
yeah.
Yeah. And then for like live instructing, so you can become a live Insanity instructor, P90X instructor, Size, PiYo, or a Turbo Kick instructor. So those are the 5 different certifications that you can get, and you can actually be hired and teach those at gyms, and or have your own studio and run your own classes. But then you can, they say be very careful with that, because obviously you'll attract a lot of people and people will love your live class and they'll want to come to them. But if you're working for a specific gym, that gym probably doesn't want you being like, hey, so now you should become a coach and do my stuff all the time and not go to the gym. You can friend them on Facebook, and if something happens there, that's cool, but just don't do any of those like conversations at that place. All right. That answer the question?
Mhm.
Okay. Cool. Hi, Kelsey. Okay. So everybody on this call has gone ahead and put out their first post, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So have you continued posting past that?
Yes.
Hmm.
Okay. And are you using your Facebook almost like a branding yourself / sneak peek into coaching?
Starting to a little bit.
Okay. All right.
Trying.
Okay. So let's just talk about some general rules of thumb for social media. You want to make sure that you post to your Facebook page 3 to 5 times a day. I know that sounds like a lot, but 3 to 5 times a day. And the things that you want to post on there, I want you to post about you and the things that make you you, because the only difference between, you know, what I have to offer and what you have to offer is that we are two completely separate people, and people are drawn to us for different reasons, right? Your story is a really big part of that reason. So breadcrumbing out your story is one of the great things that you can do on Facebook. So what I mean by that is, if you dig deep and you look back, everybody has a financial story. Everybody has a physical story. Everybody has, you know, wants and dreams and things like that. And if you look back, you can find ways to tell your story that other people are going to relate to. So for me, when I tell my story, a lot of my story is not about, like, I know that there's coaches who have been, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, and that's their story. You know, I needed to find a way out of that, and I did this, and that, and that's their story. For me, I never had that sort of thing, but I had an example of somebody, my grandfather in my life, who was extremely successful, made himself a millionaire from scratch, and I was able to sort of have a lifestyle and experience that lifestyle because of that. And so, you know, he's not somebody that's just like, here, let me pay your bills and do all of that. But like, he was somebody throughout the years that was like, we went out to nice dinners, we traveled to nice places. Like, I had glimpses and parts of the good life. You know what I mean? So like, I want that. I want to be able to give that to my kids, to my family, to my friends. I want that to trickle down to everybody around me. So money is a big motivator for me. Also, you know, I talk about depression. I was somebody who came from a divorced family. My father was an alcoholic, and I ate my emotions. I gained a lot of weight that way. And then, you know, but I talk about how I went through the journey to them now. And so that's my physical story. And I talk about, you know, I talk about my story with, even just from a young age. I literally like remember sitting in the back seat of the car with my parents after they'd picked me up from school one day. And I was telling them how stupid I thought it was that I had to go to school 5 days a week when I didn't want to. And my weekends were 2 days a week. And I was like, and that just makes no sense to me, because life is really short, and you graduate from school and then you go to a job and then you do the same thing. And it was like, you're spending all your time doing something you don't want to do. I was like, it's so dumb. And I remember my dad turning around to me and saying, so change it. So do something about it. And so that's part of my story, is remembering that one conversation. And then, you know, part of my story too is that, like, I liked my job. I loved my job, but I always sat there thinking there's got to be more than just this, like, every single day. And it was that same feeling that I used to have. So I talk about that. I talk about those things on my Facebook page. Sometimes it might feel uncomfortable, but I have a lot of people that reach out to me because they're like, oh my God, I felt that same exact. Or, oh my God, I felt like it was Groundhog Day too. Or, oh my God, my dad passed away too. Or, oh my God, I had an alcoholic parent too. Like, you have people start coming to you for different reasons because they can relate to you. And then they see where you've brought your life and they're like, well, if she could do it, I can do it. So telling your story, that's a big part. 2, you want to run your page basically talking about what you're doing. So one thing you're doing is coaching. Another thing you're doing is taking care of your health and your fitness. So those 2 things should be shown every single day on your page. You will be shocked at how many people are watching what you do but don't reach out to you. Because then when you start a conversation with them, all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, I've been thinking about doing one of your groups. Or, oh my God, you're so inspiring. Or, oh my God, literally, it happens to me daily. And then that's when you're like, oh, what I'm doing is working. It's awesome. Like, I'm helping people. And you have these like conversations that maybe you were nervous to start a conversation with somebody, and it turns into purchasing a challenge pack right then and there, or becoming a coach right then and there. So make sure that you're sharing that stuff because people are watching and they want to see, like, is this something that this person is sticking to? Can I stick to it? Are they seeing results? Can I see results? You know, that's what they're really looking for. And so when you post something, I don't want you just to throw up a sweaty selfie of yourself and be like, hey, this is me post-workout, I'm sweating. I want you to talk about it. So again, I want you to talk a little bit about like, today's workout was really thinking hard, you know, but for me, like literally my workout today, I procrastinated for 90 minutes before I did it. 90 minutes. I sat there and I was like, I'll just talk to somebody over here on the computer. I'll just look at this on Facebook. Maybe you should eat right now. I'll go eat. But literally, I should have just done my workout. And so I went to the 22-minute hardcore test group that I'm in. And I was like, guys, I'm going to be honest. I looked at the calendar today and I saw that it was cardio 3 and I've been sitting here procrastinating for the last 90 minutes because I don't want to do it. And they were like, go do it right now and post when you're done. And somebody else was like, I'm going to do it right now too. Post when you're done. And then Ronnie from corporate was like, go do it. And I was like, damn it, I've got to go do it now. So I went and I pressed play because I had that accountability and I had somebody to finally just go do it. So that's something that I can talk about on my page and somebody else is going to be like, oh, see, she doesn't always want to do it, but she's got this help and support over here that's making her do it. So that's what I mean by finding things that have to do with your life, your story, with your workouts and Shakeology. So, Bridget, Schlosser is actually really good at posting about Shakeology. She posts about it almost daily. And I don't actually even post about Shakeology that much. I probably should post more of it. But like Bonnie Engel too, she posts about it a lot as well. Yesterday, her post freaking cracked me up. So when
I know.
did you read that, Mary? It was hysterical.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you don't have to like, make it like all about like, I'm drinking this health shake and you should too. And please, don't. If I see this on your page, I immediately will reach out to you and be like, take it down. The picture of somebody with like their Shakeology mug, like kissing their bottle, nobody cares. Don't do that. If you're going to talk about Shakeology, talk about it in a way of something that it's helped you. Maybe you went to the doctors and you saw that your cholesterol levels were lower. That's happened to me. And I went and I was like, I posted about Shakeology because I drink about Shakeology every day. Maybe you have a customer or somebody in your challenge group mention to you that, they have more energy or that they're feeling better or that they're noticing that their skin or their nails or their hair is better. Maybe you have somebody, tell you that their cravings are gone or whatever it is, or it's your own experiences. But that's what I want you to share. I don't want you to share a picture of a bag or, you can have your Shakeology in your post with you, but don't kiss it. So there's that. The other part, you think so funny. All right. So the other part is your personal development, right? Personal development is part of what you should be doing every single day as a coach. If you haven't been doing it, get on it. It's 15 minutes a day, guys. You can read something, 10 pages before you go to bed. Or you can listen to it during your commute because I'm sure you guys are in a car at some point during the day. So pop on iTunes. I download books all the time, or I download like free lectures from Spotify, or I'll go get the podcast from the Team Beachbody podcast. You guys, have you heard of that yet?
Mm-hmm.
So the National Wake Up Call that happens every Monday morning at 11 a.m. actually is a podcast as well. So it's the Team Beachbody podcast. You can download it right to your phone, and then you can play those quick little 30-minute National Wake Up Calls like while you're driving in your car. So no excuses, but then take those and create a post about them. So, maybe you learned something today and you feel like it's something that could help other people. So talk about how it changed your mindset. It doesn't have to be like a Transformation Tuesday body-wise. You could have a Transformation Tuesday within the way you think of something. So that's something that you can use as well as your personal development in your, one of the posts that I did that got a lot of likes was talking about presents. A lot of people think that like gifts are a love language. I don't know if any of you have read the 5 love languages, but it talks about how there's 5 different love languages. And one is words of affirmation. So somebody's saying like, congratulations, or you did a good job, or go you, or you look pretty, or things like that. The other one is acts of service. So that could be something as little as like vacuuming or like taking out the trash for your spouse or things like that. The other one is physical touch. Obviously, we all know what that means. A hug, pat on the back, things like that. Quality time. So for females and males, that's actually different. Males like it when you're side by side. Females like it when you're face to face. But spending quality time when you're paying attention to each other. And then the last one is gifts. And so there's people who think that like if you like getting gifts that you're spoiled, right? Like that you're just like materialistic, and that there's this whole thing around that. But it actually shows that by you bless you.
Thank
The thing
you.
that I read it wasn't in the book, The 5 Love Languages, so it was somewhere else, but it just reminded me of it because it said that when you give a gift to somebody, you feel really great, right? So by you actually allowing somebody to give you a gift, really loving that they're giving you a gift, you're actually giving them back far more than like what you just received. And so I started talking about that and some other things that I had learned in that particular passage, and talking about how like I love gifts, but I love them so much that like if I buy them for somebody, like I have to give them to them right away. So then I end up buying like multiple Christmas presents for people because like I've already given them to them before Christmas comes around. So that was my post, but it got a ton of likes, and that was just because I read something, you guys. So you can find a post that way. What else? So a little bit more about posting before we move on. So branding yourself, you just want people want to feel like they know you. They want to feel like they can trust you. They're looking for your consistency, and that's what's going to make a huge difference. And then when they've gone and they've tried everything and they see that you're still smiling and you're healthy and it's working, they're going to come to you, right? So it might not happen overnight, but if you continue doing it, you're going to have those people. The last part I want to talk about was coaching. So the last thing to start posting about is coaching. There's different ways you can do that too. So it doesn't have to be like, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach now and I have this opportunity, and I think that like if you want to make money and help people get healthy, that you should contact me. Like don't post that. Things still have to relate to other people. And if you're posting consistently about your workouts and your PD and branding and your story and all of that stuff, people are going to know that you're coaching anyway. But what I would say is things like, talk about objections that you're getting in your conversations. So every week, write down objections that you've gotten from people as to reasons why they can't work out, or as to reasons why they don't want to coach, or as to reasons why they can't spend money, and all those things, right? And then talk about them publicly. So not talk about that specific person, but like, I'll give you an example. Somebody told me that they can't work out at home because they have no room. So I turned around and I made a post about how I had, I think it was 5 or 6 people in my living room doing Insanity Max 30. And if anybody has been in my living room, it's about a 6 by 10 foot space. Like there is not a lot of room in there. So the fact that we shoved the coffee table over and put the ottoman up on the chair and like moved George's dog bed out of the room and had people sometimes trickling into the kitchen, we made it work. So you can't tell me that you can't have one person in your living room making it work. You basically need the space that you can lay down in and stand up in. That's what you need for these programs. So I talked about that. Another one was money. So I talk about that a lot too. I always say, it's sort of like that feel, felt, found thing. Like I know how people feel when they tell me that they don't have enough money to do this. When Ryan signed up as a coach, he put it on a credit card that we basically were almost maxed out on, and, decided that he was just going to make the payments for it. Well, was that a good decision? Yeah, because my first month as a coach, I made $1,300. And then my second month as a coach, I made more. And then within 6 months, I was matching my salary at my full-time job. And then 8 months in, I left my job. And now 2 years in, I'm making 6 figures plus, and I've more than doubled what I was making at my job then. So was it a good decision? Yeah, it was a good decision. So I talk about that. I talk about different things. Like, I was able to make a car payment with my Beachbody money. And I know my story, like I just told, was kind of big. You guys don't even have to have that type of story yet. It can be something as simple as I paid my oil bill with my check from Beachbody, or I was just able to buy a new laptop with my money from Beachbody. I know Brianna, when she first got started, she was at risk of having her car repossessed. She was able to pay that and make it so that she actually could start paying her car on time again. Katie Siron always talks about how she's got a $670 payment a month for her student loans, and that she's able to pay all of that with Beachbody money and then have some left over. Like, what a big difference that makes in somebody's life, right? So you might think that these small things are just small things, but if you're posting that, like, you were just able to pay your phone bill, your cable bill, or whatever it may be, maybe you were able to go to the vet to help your dog who got hurt, because that happened to me this past summer. George freaking bent his entire toenail backwards and had to have the whole toenail, quick and everything, removed, bandaged up, put under for a minute while they did it, all that jazz. It was a $350 event. Normally that would have put me out, or I wouldn't have been able to even freaking afford it, and I would be stressing, right? Like back in the day. But it's nice now that I don't have to worry about those things. So it's not about bragging about the money that you're making. And even if it's something small, it's something. And it's something that it could help somebody else. So talk about that. If you got a paycheck for $50, talk about that. If you got a paycheck for $300, talk about that. I know Katie Gamage just wrote to me and she goes, I made $312 this week. Are you kidding me? And I was like, I'm not kidding you. Good job. So keep that in mind. So you can talk about coaching in that way. You can also talk about coaching in non-monetary ways. So things like gaining a community of people around you for support. Things like being pushed past your comfort zone and that helping you grow as a human being. Things like getting a message from somebody, like for today, for example, Katie sending me that message, that brightened my day that she made money. Or somebody messaging you and saying, I'm down 5 pounds. And you know that you had part in that. Or somebody messaging you and saying they're down 50 pounds. Because I've had 2 people lately message me that. And they're like, and it's because of you. And I turn around and I'm like, I might have been the catalyst, but you did all the hard work. And then you can highlight them and talk about them on your page. So that's how we can talk about coaching and the different things that it can do for us. So when I say post 3 to 5 times a day and people are like, I have nothing to post about, does that give you guys a better idea of what you can be posting about?
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then, I know a lot of people too will just come up with like a schedule for themselves. So they're like, Monday's Motivation Monday, Tuesday's like Transformation Tuesday, Wednesday's like something funny. Like I always do weird things on Wednesdays. Like we've kind of broken that pattern for a little bit, but on the team page for a while, it was like, it's Dub Smash Wednesday. Like, put up your weird Dub Smash. Or it was like Whippin' Nene Wednesday. And like you were supposed to do I'm so weird. So anyways, do those sorts of things. Ryan does Wacky Sock Wednesday. Every Wednesday he posts a picture of his wacky socks. And people love it. It's caught on. He's in Jackson Hole right now. And his buddy Ryan posted a picture and I was like, I feel like since Ryan's not here, I've got to do it. He's like, Wacky Sock Wednesday. And he put his post up and tagged Ryan. By the way, can I just tell you, a little jealous right now. Ryan Crocker is literally at Tony Horton's house right now in Jackson Hole. Like he messaged me, he's like, yeah, Tony's giving us a tour of his house right now. And then we're going to go do a chest and back workout. I was like, screw you. They skied together all day today. I was like, I'm like a little bit jealous. It's okay. I'm getting over it. So yeah, so you can do things like that. Like I know Kylie does like New Trick Tuesday and her and Alex do these weird poses and stuff. But if something like that helps you to come up with like at least one extra post a day, then you can do that. And then you kind of fill in the blanks like as you go. Also find what works for you and your audience. For my audience, they freaking love George. If I put up a post of George, I get a ton of likes. And what that does is it builds my edge rank. And for those of you who don't know what edge rank is, it's the algorithm that goes behind Facebook and determines what you post, where it will be seen in the newsfeed, whose newsfeed it goes into. And it's based on 3 different things. It's based on timeliness. So is your post recent? It's based on affinity. So like, does that person like your stuff often and you like their stuff? If so, they're more likely to see your stuff. And the last part is the weight of that particular post. So how many comments, likes, shares that particular post has received. So our goal is to try to put engaging stuff up on Facebook to get the most likes, the most comments, the most shares, so that when you do go post something that's like, hey, I have a sneak peek coming up tonight. Ever wondered what I do about coaching? Want to join? That you have the most eyes on that. Or if you're like, hey, I have a challenge group coming up, I would love for you to join, that you have the most eyes on it. Because those are the types of posts that are considered a little bit more salesy, and so you're not going to have quite as many likes, comments, and shares on those. So in order to get as many people to see it as possible, we want to make sure that the rest of our content is killing it. Okay, so posting consistently, those are your ideas. One thing that you can do, if you put a post up and it doesn't do well, take it down. Post again. It's Facebook. Like,
I've done that.
right?
Yep.
And and sometimes it's not that the post itself is bad. Sometimes it's that the image wasn't eye-catching enough. Because like, think about it. When you're sitting there, and if you're anything like me, I sleep with my phone next to me, and then when I wake up in the morning, I like immediately just start scrolling through Facebook. I just do. I'm like, what are you doing? Or I go over to Instagram and I'm like, what's happening over here? And so the things that make you stop your scroll are the things that pop out at you, right? So then you read the content that went with it. It's not the content that stops you. So if your image sucked, try it again. Not a big deal. Also, people are always like, well, I don't know what to use for a photo. I'm using the same photo over and over again, or I'm using the same sweaty selfie pose over and over again. Change it up. There's this awesome little thing on your phone called video, and you can set your phone up. You don't even have to have a tripod, but you can get one. I wish mine was right here so I could show you. Mine was like $3 on Amazon. And it's one of those weird like octopusy ones where you can like crank the legs every which way and whatnot. So set it up, videotape yourself doing your workout, and then find a cool freeze frame, snap it and put it up. Or use iMovie and chop up your video. Or literally do like a little photo shoot on the weekend. You can put on different like workout clothes. You can do different poses. You can do handstands. Try something new, do that type of stuff. And then just take pictures on a daily basis anyways. Just because you took a picture with your phone does not mean you need to post it immediately. I can't tell you how many times when I'm like, ugh, I need to post something right now, but I don't really know what I want to post. And then I'll start scrolling through all of my photos and I'm like, ooh, I like that picture. I haven't posted it before. Oh, okay. What can I put for an idea with that? My post last night with me with the gun, when I was like smoking gun, that was taken in Texas, December 12th. I'm just posting it now. So there's things like that you can do, and that kind of helps you with your content too. All right, so I think you get the picture. Post often, post consistently, post about you and your brand. If you don't know what your brand is yet, jot down 5 things that interest you. Or ask your Facebook audience, what are 3 things that you think of when you think of me? It's a great one, and plus it's a post.
That's a good idea.
Also, ask questions at the end of your posts. It'll help you get more engagement. And things like this, guys, if I post a picture of me standing in front of my mirror dressed to go out that night and I have on 2 different shoes and I go A or B, do you know like how many freaking likes and comments that thing gets? And it's the silliest thing ever. It's just like a choice between 2 shoes. Like one of them I said black or blue. That's all I wrote on the post. And one shoe was blue and one was black. And within 30 minutes, like I hadn't even checked it again. I literally was still deciding on shoes. And I went to go walk out of the house and I looked and I had over 100 likes and like 75 comments. And I was like, oh my God. Like, so even if I know what I'm wearing, I do that sometimes to get some likes. Or, I'm deciding which dress to wear to this event. Or, hey girls, like, what's your favorite mascara? Or, does anybody use dry shampoo? Like, these are things that can help really generate some likes and comments on your social media. All right, so we've talked social media. That was really, really what I wanted to talk about, because I know all of you guys have put up your first challenge group post. And so from here, it's about posting consistently and then tossing in another invite type post, maybe twice a week. It doesn't have to be every day. So if you're posting 3 to 5 times a day and 2 of those posts a week are something that's inviting people, then you always have folks to follow up with. Last thing on the social media topic, every single post you do is an opportunity to reach out to somebody. So if it's a post that was like about what shoe do I choose, or if it was just a really cute picture of your dog or your baby, then you can reach out to those people and say something like, thanks for the love on my post today. It made me think of you. How are you? Or wasn't that really silly that George was biting his own toenails last night? Like, because I posted that and people commented. So I wrote to them and they were like, yeah, my dog does it too. And then we just start rolling into a conversation. All right. Next, conversations. So we just talked about posting, following up with every single person. And so for those, how to start those conversations because you know what they liked, right? If it's a post that you did on a challenge group or an invite to something about coaching, you can jump right in and say, that's awesome, you're interested in the group. What are your health and fitness goals? Or you can say, that's awesome that you want to learn more about coaching in the sneak peek. I'm going to add you right now. Those are super simple. We all know where to go with that one. But if you're posting about like your dog or something and then you comment on it, how do you talk about coaching? Well, you start leading them. Like you start leading that conversation. You talk about the thing that you're talking about for a while, but then you start asking questions. And you ask questions in a way that like you're going to get similar questions back. So it's like, if you're talking about where do you live, then you'll start talking about where you live. And then you talk about like, oh, do you, work close to home? And then you talk about their job. And then they ask you what you do. And you say, oh, I'm a coach. And they go, what's that? And then you tell them, I run online groups to help people get fit. Ever considered joining one? You literally say it right then and there. I run online groups to help people get fit. Ever considered joining one? And they're going to go, well, what is it? And then how do I answer that question? How do I answer the question, what is a challenge group? Does anybody know the answer to that?
I do. Go ahead.
Leah, go ahead.
I recently kind of tried to answer it. I said it's just basically a place where we can all kind of have a community online and we can kind of hold each other accountable and share our successes and that sort of thing. And I did say you don't necessarily have to purchase a Beachbody product, but it's a really good venue for people who are using them to kind of stay motivated and stay on track. Gotcha.
Cool. Mary?
Yeah, that's basically, I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. I always say to people, I'm like, it's a private group on Facebook. We've got a ton of people in there. They're loving it. We're having fun. We post recipes and meal plans and meal prep and share our sweaty selfies. Sometimes we'll do giveaways, but it's a nice way to stay accountable and motivated to do, to reach your goals. And then I say, what are your goals? And then they can start telling me about their goals. So I don't even really say, Leah, the part about like you don't have to purchase a program or anything because I'm not even talking about that yet. So I just say, what it provides. And then I just say, it's really helping people meet their goals. Like, what are your goals? And then somebody is going to tell me, well, I want to lose 5 pounds or I want to tone up or, somebody today told me they wanted to lift their butt. And I was like, awesome, I've got a program for you. And, and so with that, you can sort of dig deep. You can start asking them more questions. Georgie, that is not going to work right now. He's like, this is the funnest joy ever. Daddy usually hides it when he's here.
Oh my gosh.
Georgie, no, find a different one. Find it.
No, she's like, what's that?
Look at her. It's too funny. George, you're messing with your friends. They can't do it. Here, give it to me, please. He's like, he won't give it to me. He really won't.
Okay.
Not right now. Get Lammy. Play with something different right now. Get Lammy. Don't look at this. He's like But mom,
Oh my gosh, so funny.
this is what I want. Oh, hello, little meatball. Big yawn. Oh my god, I love dogs. I love how my team loves dogs, by the way. I wouldn't have it any other way. You're so cute. So, what was I saying, guys?
You were talking about.
Oh, challenge group invites. So, no, it's not going to work right now. Go lay down. We can play after. Promise. So I tell them, what the challenge group is, ask them their goals. Then when they start telling me their goals, if somebody just says like, oh, I just want to lose weight, you got to ask. You have to be like, how much weight are you looking to lose? There's a really big difference between 100 pounds and 5 pounds and what you're going to recommend to somebody. And you never want to assume that somebody wants to lose weight. You want to always ask them what their goals are. And if they're like, well, I don't know, just get healthier, then I'll say something like, well, do you want to lose weight? Do you want to tone up? Do you want more energy? Do you just want to eat better? Are you trying to build your endurance or prep for anything like a race or something? So keep digging deep and kind of like probing with those questions. And then once you have the answers to like what their goals are, then I start asking them, well, what do you typically like to do? Do you like cardio? Do you like weightlifting? Are you a yoga person? Do you like running? Are you open? What do you like? Do you like dance? And some people will answer that question for you. And so, maybe they're like, well, I really love running, or I've been doing the elliptical at the gym. And I just always say to them, well, how's that working for you? Are you reaching your goals doing that? And most of the time it's no, because otherwise we wouldn't be talking. And then I say, I find it really important to add weights in when you're somebody who is looking to lose weight. So many of us have been told we just need to do tons of cardio and eat less, and it's just not the answer. So I try to educate a little bit too, but I take the time and I get to know what they need and what they like. From there, I literally can say to them, because now we've built this trust, we've talked, I know them, I know what they want, I can turn around to them and I can say, well, I think the group would be awesome for you. I would love to help you reach your goals. Would you like me to give you a recommendation for something to use in the group? The answer is always yes. I've never had anybody say, no, I don't want a recommendation. I'm just going to do my own thing. Because at that point, you've built up that trust and that value. And so then I say, great, well, based on your goals and what you're trying to achieve and what you liked in the past and what you're doing, this is what I'd recommend for you. I always give 2 options. That way it makes them feel like they have a choice, but I'm also leading them. I don't want to give them 3 or 4 or 5 or say, hey, go check out the website. That is overwhelming as hell. And our job as a coach is to give people direction and to help them. People say that they want choices, but what they really want is direction. They want leadership. They want you to help them. So, and there's this whole thing called the JAM study. I don't know if you guys have heard about the JAM study. Anybody familiar with that? Okay. So the JAM study is like, I think it was a Cornell study, and they did this sort of thing where they had a table out and they had jams out for people to come and taste test. And they had 2 jams out or 3 jams out, and they had a ton of people come to the table, and they had a ton of people purchase the jam, and it was really, really great. And so they were like, okay, next time let's put all of our different jam flavors up. And of course they attracted a lot more people to them, but they made less sales, because what happened was that people got overwhelmed. And when people get overwhelmed, they don't make a decision because they're afraid that they're going to make the wrong one. So you got to give people choices, but don't overwhelm them. So I always give 2 choices. And from there, I usually say, listen, I'm leaning towards this one for you, but both of these would work for you. And it's really just going to be dependent upon which one you like best. Would you like me to send over a quick clip for you to check them out? And then they say yes. And then I send over a clip. And then they come back to me and they say, okay, I like this one best. And I'm like, awesome. That's what I was leaning towards for you. And I literally just end it with saying, what's your email and what flavor Shakeology would you like in your challenge pack? And literally 99% of my conversations happen this way. Now, I find that when you build that value, when you ask those questions, you are less likely to get objections. You're actually handling the objections before you even get them, because you've built it up. You've told them it's going to work for them. They're so pumped. They want in the group. They know it's got the support and motivation they need, that they just really want it. And a lot of the times I won't even be asked price at this point. People will just go do it. Okay. If they do come back and ask you for the price, I build the value there too. So instead of just being like, oh, it's $140, I say, well, your challenge pack comes with, and so say they're getting the 21-day fix. And by the way, if you need to know what the challenge pack comes with, you can find it in the details section under the challenge packs, like on the website. I'll post that link in the group for you guys. But basically, I just say, it comes with your program. It has 7 different workouts. They're all 30 minutes long. It comes with your nutrition guide. It comes with a 30-day supply of Shakeology, your portion control containers. It comes with the workout calendar. It comes with a couple of bonus DVDs from ordering through me. You get free access for 30 days to Beachbody On Demand, where there's over $3,000 worth of Beachbody programs that you can also dig into. You also can stream your own workouts, so you can do them anywhere you want, all for just $140. Plus you get access to my group and me as your coach. It's a sweet deal. It's on sale this month. So I literally just built the value again for them rather than just being like, it's $140. Because then somebody goes, wow, that seems like you get a lot of stuff for that. That's a good deal. Rather than just being like, oh, it's $140 and somebody's like, wait, I'm going to spend $140 on some DVDs, because that's what they're thinking. So you build that value. And then if somebody comes back to you and they're like, I really want to do it, but I just don't think I can afford it right now, that's when you offer them the coaching. That's when I do a few different things when I get the money excuse. One, I will say, is it really just the money holding you back right now? Because I want to know, did I miss something? Did I not show them the value of this? Did I not show them how this can help them somehow? Is it something else? And sometimes I will get a different answer. Sometimes people will be like, well, I just don't know if I'll stick to it, or I just don't know if an at-home program will work for me. Or I've just tried so many things and I've failed and I feel like I should continue, just trying to go to the gym or running or something. So I will get those answers, and then that actually gives me the ability to answer them. And usually I always use the feel, felt, found method. So I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way. But what I found is this group gives me the motivation that I was missing. Or what I found is that following a program where I get to X off the days each day, it actually helps me stick to it, because I'm not going into each day guessing what I'm going to do. Or, so I don't just make crap up. I talk about the different things that actually helped me, and people will know the difference, guys. So just keep that in mind. But if it's also something that maybe you didn't experience, maybe you do have a coach or a customer or a challenger who did, and you can use them as an example. So the money excuse. So if they change it and they say no, blah, 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 after you said, is it really just the money holding you back? Then you can talk about that objection and get through it. If it is really just the money that's holding them back, then I say, well, if it would help you, I don't know if you've ever considered coaching like I do, but I can literally help you make the money back. And I've found that as a coach, it actually helps me stay more accountable. Because I can almost guarantee you guys that I would have gained that weight back had I not been a coach for the past 2 years, because it does. It keeps me accountable running challenge groups and helping other people. And so a lot of times people will be like, well, I've never considered it. What is it? What is it? And then you can get into that conversation. The other thing is that sometimes they'll be like, well, I get paid on such and such a date. Great. Have a little handy dandy calendar, write it down. So-and-so gets paid on such and such date, and then to follow up with them. Good? Golden? I know it's a ton.
Another thing that, and I think you did this with me back when we first started, was, we did the credit card, but we talked about ways and things that, I was like, yeah, I found that, when I cut out Dunkin' Donuts, again, the feel, felt, found, I guess, is what it really gets back to. But that really relates to people I feel the best too. Hey, when I cut out the Dunkin' Donuts, I found that, I actually had more money than I thought, and I was able to purchase a program.
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes Mary's right. Sometimes I do say that as well. I'm like, well, if it's really just the money holding you back, I can either help you come up with a way to save. I know a lot of people on Shakeology have cut out their coffee. I know a lot of people on 21 Day Fix, because you're eating clean, you're not going out to restaurants as much, you're not picking up snack foods as much, you actually save money on your groceries. I know I do. I spend far less on my groceries when I'm eating on a nutrition plan than what I do if I don't. Because if I don't, I just buy a bunch of stuff and then I don't make it, and then I go out to dinner and it all goes in the trash. And I spend more on one night out and dinner than I would in groceries for the week. So so anyway, so I ask people, I'm like, well, is there something that you could cut out that would make it so that you could afford it? Or I've had people, for instance, put $25 aside a week, and they'll PayPal it to me, and I'll hold it right there in PayPal for them. And then when it's all saved up, I'll be like, guess what, lady? It's all there. You ready? And it's all there, and they're ready. So there's several different things that you can do to help people if money really is the excuse. But also the coaching opportunity, I thought the same thing, but I found that, putting it on a credit card, I can help you make that back before that monthly bill even hits. So those are some ways to deal with that objection. Lastly, I wanted to talk about for objections is just Shakeology. I know some people will be like, well, I'm not a shake person. So how do you answer that question? Does anybody know? Oh, it looked like you had an answer, but then you didn't say anything.
I don't know. I'd probably just guess and say, well, it's really a nutrition supplement more so than a shake. I don't know.
Yeah, I have a lot of people that come to me and they're like, well, I've been thinking about trying Herbalife. Like, what's the difference between that and Shakeology? I'm like, well, Herbalife is a weight loss supplement. It's completely different than Shakeology. It's like a nutritional thing, and you're going to need that nutrition to get through these workouts. Like, it's completely different because that's like a lot of the questions I get is like, people are like, well, I kind of want to try Herbology or whatever, Herbalife. And yeah.
Okay, so let me give you this tip. If somebody says something to me about, say, Visalis or Isagenix or Advocare or Herbalife or any of those other things out there, I always say, well, I don't know about that. But what I do know is that Shakeology has helped me XYZ. Because I find that if you bad talk or put down another product, even though it may be inferior to our product, and it is, Herbalife, well, I'll just tell you a quick side story before we go into that. But we have this coach, Shay Stanford, on for Beachbody. She's an older woman. She's like in her 50s. She is incredible. She used to work in the pharmaceutical industry. She basically is like, doctors are a-holes that would like just recommend drugs to people because they were getting paid for it. And, you know, I don't believe in that stuff and whatever. Not all of them, but you know. So anyways, she did a little science experiment, and she put some Herbalife in one cup and she put Shakeology in the other cup, and she put them outside and she just left them there in the sun. And what happened was, it's almost like that burger thing that you see with like the burger stays the same. So that's what she saw there. Like when she walked back out, the Shakeology reeked. It was disgusting. It was growing mold. It had bugs all over it. And the Herbalife was just sitting there like nothing had changed.
Yeah, I've had someone like recently come to me and they were like, so I was like looking into the differences of Herbalife and Shakeology, and what I found was like Herbalife has a lot of just fake stuff in it. And I was like, it does. It does. Shakeology is completely different. It's a completely different thing.
Exactly. So that's what it is. You know, that one wasn't being touched because it has chemicals and it has preservatives in it. It's just like if you put butter or margarine out, the ants are going to go to the butter. They're not going to touch the margarine. They know it's poison. So it's that same type of thing. So I don't even go into all of that with them, but I just say, I don't know about that. But what I do know is that Shakeology is made of all whole foods. It has 70 plus superfoods in it. So your body actually knows what to do and how to digest it. It has no artificial flavors, no artificial sugars. It has no chemicals or dyes or any of that crap. It's non-GMO. It's gluten-free. It's soy-free. Guys, being soy-free is huge. Soy-free is like, I mean, it's huge. Soy is so bad for you, and a lot of people don't know that. And 95% of soy that people use is GMO. The reason it took, and you guys are newer coaches, so you don't know this, but the reason why it took Beachbody so long to come out with a vanilla Shakeology, they just came out with that last year, is because they could not find a vanilla source that they thought was good enough. And so they had been searching and searching and searching, and they had got to the point where they were pretty much like, we're just not going to be able to do it. It doesn't meet our standards. And they found this one culture in Madagascar where they hand pollinate the beans. It's sustainable growth, and it was clean, and they were like, bam, there we go, we found it. So now you can feel good because they're also supporting sustainable farming methods, and in these countries where like they are poor and they need our money. So things like that, you know. And so when people tell me like, oh, but I can get this protein shake at GNC for XYZ, I'm like, you get what you pay for. What are the first ingredients in that protein shake? And most of the time it's soy isolate, dextrose, maltodextrin, and you name it, and it's all chemicals and crap and sugar and soy, and it's horrible for you. So I just know what it's done for me, and I just say, you know, I sleep better. I have more energy. Like, I can tell the days I don't do Shakeology, I feel lethargic. I'm almost moody. it does help regulate your blood sugar. It also helps regulate your body. So not to be gross, but it helps you poop.
That's what I've noticed. I was just about to say that. I was like, I've been pooping great lately.
I love that, like, eventually, like, Beachbody coaches, they just talk about poop all the time.
I love talking about poop. I always have.
You poop better. You know, Ryan used to have really bad IBS, and I'm not sure what it was attributed to. We actually think it may have been because he did a cleanse back in the day, because it was before we started Beachbody, and it had been ever since that date, and we just kind of realized it all of a sudden. But he did this cleanse, or these pill cleanses that you were supposed to do, and I think it totally threw off his, like, flora and fauna in his gut, and so he was paying for it to the point where, like, he was, we'd be at a restaurant, we'd have to go because he was like, I'm in pain. Like, I have, like, it feels like sharp knife in my gut. Like, I've got to go. And so, it's completely cured that for him because of all the probiotics and stuff and, just the digestive health aspect of it. My mom has celiac, and so does Beth on our team, Beth Corbeau. And, Beth will talk about how she had so many people come up to her and offer her different shakes and, like, swear to her that they were gluten-free, but in turn they would, like, kill her and ruin her gut and make her feel like she was in pain on her side and all of that stuff. But that Shakeology has completely changed around her entire health. My mom too. My mom lost 30 pounds in a month just by doing Shakeology. She didn't change anything else and started feeling better. And not to be gross, but, like, because of her celiac, she used to wake up in the morning and spend quite a bit of time on the toilet. And so, there's things like that. I know that my brother-in-law went off his blood pressure medication because of Shakeology. It's clinically proven to lower your cholesterol. It's clinically proven to help you lose weight. And it's clinically proven to reverse type 2 diabetes, the onset of type 2 diabetes. So it is literally saving people's lives. And so when I get the question, or when somebody tells me I don't do a shake, I say, you know what? I was skeptical too. I didn't want to drink a shake every day. I freaking love food. How do you think I got fat in the first place? And I go, but, and Ryan never needed to lose weight, but Ryan drinks it every single day. And there's a reason. It's feeding your body with that proper nutrients that makes your body run at that optimal level. And I have not had even as little as a cold in the 2 years that I've been doing Shakeology. And so when you tell somebody a little bit about the facts, a little bit about your story, and say, just give it a try. Like, even if it was 100% free and I got no throwback on this whatsoever, it would be what I'm recommending to you to get for your health and your fitness goals. So just try it. There's a free, like, a full 30-day, 100% money back guarantee, even if you send back an empty freaking bag. That's how much they believe in this. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever known anybody to send back a free bag. I think an empty bag. If you did, I kind of think you're an asshole because you used the whole thing in a empty bag, but whatever. So that's how I deal with the shake objection. Just say, I don't know about them, but this is my experience with it, or this is my coach's experience with it. And, just give it a try. And I wasn't a shake person either, and now I can't live without it. So there's that. Okay, so that I don't want to overwhelm you with information, but just because you are starting to post more and you are starting to have these conversations more, I wanted you to realize how you can kind of make it so that your conversations go with as little objection as possible and deal with the most common ones that you get and know what to say. So what else is there any questions before we jump on here? Because I don't want to make this last more than an hour.
I had a girl that I said, I was just like, hey, how are you? It was a girl I used to work with. And, she had been posting about, making better, lifestyle changes. I was like, I see that you've been making some lifestyle changes. That's awesome. Like, what have you been doing? And she was like, I don't want to shake. I don't want to wrap. I don't want this. And she just named a bunch of stuff. And she's like, no, thank you. And I was just like,
that's not her. That's not you. That's her.
Okay.
That's not
so do I even respond to that, or am I just like, all right, whatever?
Like, I actually was just saying hi, but it sounds like
yeah,
like multi-level marketers or something. And I'm sorry if you're feeling that way, but you have a good day.
Yeah, I was like, oh my.
I checked in with somebody the other day, and I just said, hey, girl, I'm like, how are you doing? And she goes, you obviously haven't read my posts lately. And it's somebody that I'd been talking to for a while, and I was like, well, I saw like one of your posts, but I didn't really know what was going on. So I was literally asking you how you're doing, like checking in, saying, how are things? And she never answered me back. And I just blessed and released. And the next day I messaged her and I just said, hey, I just want you to know, I'm thinking of you. You're obviously going through something, praying for you and wishing you love and light. And that night she got back to me and she was like, I am so freaking sorry for the way I responded to you yesterday. She was like, my friend's in the hospital and I'm really upset about it. And I took it out on you and I shouldn't have. And she was like, and you're too kind to have reached out to me and said, whatever. And I was like, okay, so it's not you. It's them. People are doing different things, and who knows? Like, if you just, well, I was just saying, hi, I hope everything's well, like, and leave it at that, who knows? That person might come back to you later and be like, hey, I'm sorry, or come back later and be like, hey, so it looks like this thing you're doing is working. Another example, after I posted, I don't know if you guys saw it, but Ryan got me a pair of Manolo Blahniks for Christmas, and I'm sorry, like I said, my love language is gifts. And I've never had a pair of Manolo Blahniks before. So I was like really pumped and I posted it on Facebook and I talked about how freaking thoughtful it was because I tried them on at the Manolo Blahnik store in New York and he didn't buy them then. He called them, tracked them down, found them, got them, and had them there for me for Christmas and gave them to me in time so that I could wear them to our Christmas party. And so I had posted about that. A few minutes later, I was reaching out to people and I reached out to this one girl and I was like, hey, I'm like, how are you doing? I'm like, we used to work together. And I'm like, 4 of the girls we used to work with are in my challenge group right now. I'm like, I don't know if you have any fitness goals or health goals. I was like, I know it's been a while since last time we chatted, but if you want to jump in with us, it's super fun. And she wrote back to me and said, I'm pretty sure that we have nothing in common and that I work with people who don't have a pot to piss in. So sorry, blah, 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 blah. That's how she responded.
Oh my gosh.
And I literally looked over to Ryan and I said, that isn't me. That's something going on with her. And I was like, I guarantee you something negative is happening in her life right now. She saw my post about being so happy and my gift, and she's taking it out on me.
Right.
And so my response to her was just like, I'm sorry. I'm like, did I do something to upset you? That's all I wrote. And she wrote back and she was like, oh my God, Joan, I'm so sorry. She was like, my husband's overseas right now. She's like, I'm just upset that I'm doing everything on my own and it's Christmas time. And I saw your post about you being happy and I got jealous. Literally what she wrote to me. So, just realize that it's not you, it's them. Everybody's going through something different. And so if you get a negative response like that, just treat it with love and know that your heart was in the right place and move on.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Love you. You're doing awesome. You guys can post questions in this group. It's here for you for a reason. Chances are, if you have that question, somebody else in Coach Basics also has that question. So by putting it out there, you're helping a lot of people, and I can answer you in there, and it actually makes my life a lot easier too. So post your questions in there so everybody can see them publicly. Also, if you are a newer coach, you should have at least one weekly one-on-one Zoom call set up with your coach, with your direct upline. So Katrina, that would be Kelsey for you. Leah, Mary, Bowie, you're with me. Bowie, you don't need a weekly one, but when you need me. Bowie's been around a little bit. So eventually I kick you off to the curb. No, I'm just kidding. But in the beginning, yes, I like to stay in touch way more often. But these group calls are great for questions, and the group is great for questions too. But if it's anything that you can't find, or you post in here and you're not getting the answers, or you post in here and you're not getting the answers, go ahead and message me, or we can jump on a call and I can get those going for you. Hi, sweetie, you're so handsome. All right, guys, enjoy your night. Let me know if you have any questions. I will go ahead and throw this recording in this group for you too.
All right, thank you.
Thank
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Too.
You too.